Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be cutting a blazer. I'm going to be cutting a blazer. This is a very simple tutorial, and it's going to be divided into two because I don't want the video to be too long. So this will be the cutting process, and the next part 2 video is going to be the joining process. So let us draft this together. Now I'm just getting my full length of my blazer, and I added 1 inch allowance. Then we're going to get all our lines, our armhole line, bust line, waist line, and we already have our hip line, which is our full length. So just like a normal basic top, your full length is your hip line. Yes, so that's what we're trying to do now, and then you connect all your lines together. So after drafting on my lines and labeling them, because you have to label them, I just took my shoulder measurement and I went down by 1 inch for slanting. Note that please, we're cutting the back piece first because the front we're going to be having a lot of things to do at the front. So this is the back piece. It's the back piece you're going to use to cut the front. Please don't forget, you're taking your back first. So I just got my armhole line and I connected it down. This is your normal basic measurement you used to do. You get your full length, your waistline, chest line, armhole line, hip line, which is your full length, and then your neck. I'm using 3 inches by 1 for my neck side. So now I'm just going to take nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. You're going to take it from head to toe. I mean from the chest line to the hip line. You're going to get your midpoint, chest to the hip line. So now we're going to check from our chest line, you go down by 1 inch, just in case your chest line and your armhole line are like the same line. You know, some people have bigger bust, like this pattern I'm using has a bigger bust, so the chest line and the armhole line are not the same. But if your own is the same, you go down by 2 inches. But this one, they're like 2 different lines, so I'm going down by 1 inch from the chest line. I hope that is explanatory enough. And then on the hip line, you go up by 2 inches. On the chest line, go down by 1. On the hip line, go up by 2. And this is for the back. Go down by 1. Hip, go up by 2. And then you take 0.5 on your waistline. That means that midpoint, just like our normal dot. Then you connect it like this. It should be looking like this. This is our dot. This is just to give you that very nice design, you know. And also on our waistline, you can decide to go in at the midpoint. You can decide to go in by 0.5. That is this back, the beginning of the folding, just to give it like a little curve. Then you connect from your chest line, connect to the 0.5, from your hip, connect to the 0.5 and cut out. So now I'm doing shoulder dart. You can decide to do princess dart if you want. Then I connected the midpoint of my shoulder to the dart. You can decide to do princess dart if you want. Come from the armhole, then you go down. That is a decision you can make. But for this tutorial, I'm going to be doing shoulder dart. So that's why I took the midpoint of my shoulder, then connect it to the beginning of the dart. Now I'll be taking my body measurement. I took my chest line, that's my bust, divided by 4 plus 1 inch for sewing allowance. On the waist, I'm going to be taking my waist divided by 4 plus 2 inches. 1 inch for sewing allowance, 1 inch for the dart, because you have to replace everything you borrow. Even in life, you replace everything you borrow, you are going to pay back. So I'm just paying it back. So that's why I'm taking 2 inches allowance on the waist instead of 1 I took up. So on the hip also, hip divided by 4 plus your 1 inch allowance for sewing, and then you connect them together. This is how the pattern should be looking like for the back. If you've gotten to this stage, that means you're on the right track, and let's move to the front. You're not going to cut out the dart yet, so we're going to use this back piece to trace out the front piece. you are not separating the dart yet, not yet. We are going to cut out the front first, because if you cut it out now, we are going to have difficulties cutting out the front. So it's just better to leave it like this first. So now I want to cut the front. Now you can see there's something is looking different. I added 6 inches at the top and I added 4 inches at the side. We are going to get to this part. Please don't be confused yet. We're going to get there. It's not that hard and you're going to understand. So let's cut it together. So after taking your 6 inches and your 4 inches, I just labeled it so you can understand better. And then I'm fixing my back piece on the front piece. We're cutting the front piece now. So I'm just going to mark out all the lines I used on my front part, so the pattern can be like the same thing. I'll just connect them out instead of taking on my whole measurement again, the chest line, the waistline and everything. I'll just use the marker to extend the lines and then connect it together. Now let's dive into the business of the front. So after tracing it out and getting the armhole and everything all together, I'm going to be taking my neckline. I'm using 3x3. It is advisable to use something like this because you're making a collar now. You don't want it to be too big and to be too small. You just want it to be nice and fitted. So I'm taking 3x3 and then you connect it together. Then next thing you're going to do, this 4 inches part is for the lapel. That is why I left enough allowance for the lapel. I cannot join them together, but you're going to understand the reason why I did this. So if you're adding a button to your blazer, this is the part you're going to take your button allowance. For our normal vintage, we always take 1 inch for our button while folding it. So in this situation, we're just going to mark out the 1 inch out because we have enough allowance already. We took 4 inches to cover up all our everything we're going to be doing. So I'm just deciding on how open I want my lapel to be. I'm going to be wearing something inside, so I can decide to make it very open. If you know you're not wearing anything inside, you can just make it be on your chest line. That's where, if you are not wearing anything inside, you don't want your body to be exposing, you can make it on your chest line. But if not, you can go like maybe 2 inches above your waistline. It is actually your desired length. Anyhow you want to make it, this is your decision. So then from that point you decide to make your lapel, you go out by 1 inch like I just did, then you connect it together. That is for your button allowance. So now this is to connect my lapel. I'm going to be connecting that button side. I'm going to be connecting the button side to my neckline. I had to remark my neckline. It wasn't looking so curved. So sorry for the marker. You're going to connect that button allowance now to this your neckline. I'm just going up by like 0.25 just to make it have this sharp look. So please don't be confused. I just make the line. I made the line from my width of my neckline to that button allowance, that 1 inch. Please let's just follow the steps step by step. You're going to understand it well. Then I blended. It's not compulsory to add that 0.25. I just did now. It's just for fugazi's sake. So now I want to determine our lapel. I made mine 2.5 long. You can make yours. This thing is just being creative. You can make it long. So far you can sew it, is fine. Anyhow you want to make it, that is your choice. So I made mine 2.5. For like a kid, you can make it like maybe 2 inches or so. But I made mine 2.5 and I connected it 2.5 to that same button allowance we're doing. So I feel like now it should be looking better because this place that is coming out now is like the lapel place that is going to overlap. You should know how our blazer is now. I'm going to put like a little picture up here. So just for it to overlap a little to come to the chest side. So this is what it's going to be looking like. So the next thing we're going to be doing is to get our dart. You can do this before you do what I just did now, or do it first. It depends on you. So far we're not adding any allowance because every allowance we need is already at this 4 inches we are using already. So I just did the same thing I did on the back, the 4 inches, which is my tutorial midpoint, and then you can use 0.5 on the waistline, connect it, the same thing we did. go down by 1 inch on the chest line, 2 inches if your chest line and your armhole line are the same. Go up by 2 inches on your hip line, and then you connect them like this. Simple. Connect the one down to the end, the straight line, and also get your midpoint of your shoulder. Get the midpoint of your shoulder and then connect it. It's just the same exact thing you did at the back. So now we can see that this pattern is like step by step. We're done with the lapel now. I want to go to the collar. So you just pick out your back piece and then you measure the neck on your back piece. I got 3.5, so I'm going to be going up by 3.5. Now this is the collar, and this is the reason why we left that 6 inches. You're not going to use the complete 6 inches, just like the lapel. We didn't use the whole 4, but it's better to have a lot than for you to have less. So just in case you want to make the lapel very big, you have enough allowance. So measure your back neck and you go up by whatever you get. If you get 5, 6, 7, 3, 2, 1, anything, you measure it and you go up by that. And then after getting that, you go out by 0.5. It's just for slanting, just a little sharpness at the edge. So you go out by 0.5. This line we are cutting now, this line we are drafting now, is the neckline for the back. The neckline for the back. So from that 0.5 that we measured, you're going to be going out, or in rather, you're going to be going in by 3.5, which is going to be the length of my collar, the length. So the 3.5 we first measured, which was the back neck. This one is the back height. So after getting your back height, do not make your tape rule straight. You have to make the tape rule slant. It's not meant to be straight. It's meant to be going like to the edge of the pattern, something like that. So I'm confirming my measurement. I have 3.5 for my length. Do not make it straight, please. It's not going to make your collar come out well. So that is that for that. So now we're going to make that point in where your collar, your lapel, like your blazer, there's this mouth that is not meant to be together. Yeah, so I'm going to be taking 1.5 inch up from that our 2.5 that went up for the lapel the other time. It's not compulsory to take 1.5. You can take 1.25. You can take whatever you want, but I just used to take 1.5 to make me know the distance and to see, okay, is it okay or is it not. So just get that one, and then you can connect it with your curve ruler to connect the collar. So this is our collar. That side is the mouth where it's going to be touching or facing, let me say facing the lapel. This 3x3 is our neckline for the front. 3.5 we went up, that's our back neckline. We went out by 0.5 for the sharpness at the neck, and then you measure the length of your collar, which is 3.5. you connect it with your curve ruler. Yeah, that is why we left our 6 inches. For your lapel also the same thing. You get your button allowance, then from there you connect it to the neckline. From there also you connect it to your lapel length. I used 2.5. So it all depends on what you're going to use, but I just hope this is explanatory enough, and you can also draft your own and do your tutorials. Please, you are free to ask any questions in the comment section. Thank you. This is how our front piece is looking like. If your own is looking like this, that means you are doing something very right. And also for the button allowance, if you know you're not putting button, you can just make it slant from that 1 inch beginning I went in. So that's all. This is very, very, very simple to achieve. Now we can cut out. You're going to cut out the collar first. We are cutting out the collar first, not the body. So just cut it out, and you're going to cut this on fold because this is just one part of the collar. You're going to cut your material, unfold them. So when you open it into two, it's going to be times 2 of what this is. So that is all with cutting your pattern. Thanks for watching this video, and I'm going to be posting the part 2 very soon. So please try out this tutorial. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Thank you for watching.